Today I'll be going over some stocks that I think are pretty good stocks for beginner investors for a handful of reasons. A lot of people on my channel are relatively new to investing and probably not that experienced, so I think these stocks are pretty solid for people who are new to investing for a handful of reasons. And I have the whiteboard out, and I think it's a little bit easier to visualize them. And the stock tickers are listed over here, and hopefully everyone can see it good. I don't know how good the camera quality is right now. And then at the top are some criteria that I think they should be able to meet. And now these stocks are perfect, so they don't all perfectly meet all this criteria. But anyways, on the top, some things I think every single one of these stocks should have. One is relatively high market cap. I don't think as a beginner investor it's very good to invest in micro or small cap stocks because they're probably relatively risky. I think you should shoot for more high cap, large cap stocks that are in the above $2 billion range at least, and stocks that are probably generally pretty blue chip stocks. Next is a low PE ratio. Generally anything under the 30 to 35 range is something pretty good to shoot for, but this isn't perfect. Dividend yield, all these stocks have a dividend yield, and all of them have, I think, at least over a 1 or 2% dividend yield, give or take. I think a couple of these are actually north towards the 1%, but obviously just because they have a high dividend yield doesn't mean they can sustain it. So some of these stocks, are going to be hit or miss on that. And then low price, by that I mean the actual price of the stock, because I think it makes sense to have, if you're a beginner investor, you probably don't have a very big portfolio, so I think it makes more sense to shoot for stocks that are not $500 or $1,000. Then lastly, on the far side here is long-term growth, and some of these stocks have that and some of these don't. But anyways, going through the list, first stock on the list is Microsoft. And market cap, yes, they have an extremely large market cap, around 760 billion. Low PE ratio, they're a little bit higher than normal. That I'd normally like. They're at 55 right now, so that is actually going to be a no for that one. But 55 isn't incredibly high, so I don't think that's the end of the world. Next on the list is dividend yield. Yes, they do have a dividend yield, and yes, that yield is pretty nice. It's currently at 2.26, so that's a pretty solid yield right there. Low price. It's currently at $100 right now, so technically the price isn't low, but I don't think that's insanely high, and I think that's relatively affordable. So I'm going to do yes/no for that one, because most of these stocks are well under that, but I still don't think $100 is anything unreasonable. Next on the list, long-term growth. Definitely yes, I think they clearly have a lot of potential for long-term growth, not only in terms of financial statistics, but also in terms of their industry and business. After that is Starbucks, which is the next one. Market cap, yes, $78 billion market cap. That is high enough for me. Low PE ratio, yes, they actually have an 18 PE ratio, which is very, very low. Dividend yield, yes, they have a 1.68 dividend yield, which is actually pretty solid, and they do have a lot of room to grow that as well. Same with Microsoft, actually, I forgot to say that. Low price, yes, they are pretty low price. They're around $56 right now, which is a pretty good deal. And long-term growth, I would have to argue yes for that as well. Next on the list is Nike. Nike's market cap, 116 billion, so yes for that one. Low PE ratio. They have a PE ratio, I think is the highest on the list, actually, 68. So technically that is a little bit high, but I actually do think their price could go down a little bit before they actually are in a buy-in price. So no, they don't have a low PE ratio. Dividend yield, 1.32, yes, but that is a little bit low. But once again, like Starbucks, I think they have room to grow their dividend quite a bit, and they're probably going to be a dividend aristocrat in a few years. Low price, yes, Nike's currently around, $68 right now. Nope, that's wrong too. $72 right now. Looking at the wrong thing. Nike around $72 right now. So that is pretty cheap, well under the $100 range. And long-term growth, I would have to argue yes for Nike as well. They're doing a very good job at things like online retail. A lot of specialty retailers have been getting hit pretty hard, and Nike actually hasn't. After that is Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE. Market cap, definitely yes, they're well above 200 billion. Low PE ratio, yes, they have an extremely low one of 10. Dividend yield, yes, they have a really, really nice dividend yield. Right now, 3.59, which is really great, getting a stock over 3%. That's been continually increasing it, and still they don't necessarily have room to keep increasing it, but still at that percentage right now, it's still pretty good, even if they kept it there. Low price, yes, they are at around $33 right now, give or take. And long-term growth, probably no. This is definitely not a stock that's going to see a significant growth over the past, over the next 5 years or so. A stock that has a great dividend yield though, and their price fluctuation isn't going to be too great. And if there was a recession or dip or something like that, their price probably wouldn't get affected too hard. So Pfizer, yes, all across the board except for long-term growth. After that is Intel, ticker symbol INTC. Market cap, definitely yes, they have, they have a $257 billion market cap, very expensive company. Low PE ratio, yes on that as well at 24, which is a pretty solid one. Dividend yield, yes again, 2.23, which I think is a pretty good dividend yield. Once again, they do have room to grow that as well. And current price, $56. Yes, that should be pretty affordable to fit most of, most people's portfolios. And long-term growth, I would have to argue yes as well. It's in a really emerging and booming industry right now. They're really the top chip processor in the world, in my opinion. Some people might debate about that. But anyways, moving on to the next stock is Bank of America. Current market cap, $295 billion, so that's going to be a yes on that one. Low PE of 16, definitely yes on that as well. And dividend yield, they have 1.32, which is a little bit low, but once again, probably have room to increase that quite a bit. So it's going to be a yes on that as well. And then low price, definitely a low below $30. I think they're actually the cheapest stock on this list right now. And then long-term growth. This one was kind of in the middle. There were some things that were showing it did, some things that were showing it didn't, but I'm going to have to go yes for that as well. And last on the list is AT&T, ticker symbol T. Market cap, $198 billion, almost up to the $200 billion range, so yes on that. Low PE ratio, 6.54 PE ratio, yes, very low. Probably pretty undervalued right now in my opinion. Dividend yield, yes, that has the best on the list at 5.07. Low price, once again, yes. I'm writing the price for some reason, not a yes or no. Definitely yes on the low price. They have like a they're at like $33 right now. And then for the last category, long-term growth, that's probably going to be a no. So if we look through the stocks here, mostly all of them had yes to the market cap. Only Microsoft and Nike had a little bit of a high PE ratio. Dividend yield, they all had yes. Some of them were higher than others. Some like AT&T, Pfizer had them a little bit higher. Microsoft, low price. They're all pretty low except for Microsoft, which I still would consider relatively low, under the, or under or around the $100 range. And then long-term growth, Pfizer, AT&T, definitely not growth stocks at all. So really when you look at this list right now, there's only two that had yes across the whole board. Starbucks had yes across the board. Intel had a yes across the board. And Bank of America, long-term growth, that was probably more of a yes/no. So that was sort of in the middle there. So really the only two were Intel and Starbucks, but that just because they didn't necessarily fit some of these other categories doesn't mean any of these are bad stocks. I really overall think these are all pretty solid stocks. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, stocks listed on the side here. I'll list them in the description below as well, just in case people can't see this as well. I have to see how the video quality comes out. But anyways, Microsoft, Starbucks, Nike, Pfizer, Intel, Bank of America, and AT&T. And these stocks all share relatively similar qualities that I think make them pretty good for beginner investors. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't checked out my channel before, I talk about investing and how God investing, finance, and really anything that has to do with the stock market. So if you're interested in anything like that, definitely head over onto my channel and check it out. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video.